Now, did they show up? Have they shown up since then?
I created a new page and
Okay.
I took it as a nudge because I got a new name.
I saw that. Now,
Yeah.
what's your new name?
Zahara Celestial.
Okay, very cool. Now, were you posting them on your old page at the time, Elizabeth Rudwick?
Say that again, sorry.
Were you posting on Elizabeth Rudwick, your personal page, before when they weren't coming through?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now everything's fine on my other page.
Let me see here. I'm going to show you something. I bet you I know what happened because it's happened to me before. All right. So hang on 1 second. Yeah, and I want to talk to you about those whales and dragons. Okay, so let's see. I'm looking back at your stuff.
Put the fan on. It's so humid. Hold on a second.
It's okay. Take your time. I'm looking to see if I can help you out.
Okay.
Let's see. Elizabeth Rudwick. Well, it looks like they were going through. So what happens is sometimes your preferences. Here, I'll show you. Just in case, especially like if you're doing it from a new page.
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah.
So if I come over here, let me share the screen. Okay, so you see, like, can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Can you see my cursor?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So right there where it's got the global, the Earth.
Yeah.
What'll happen is sometimes you'll go in and it'll be set on nothing. It'll be set on like friends of friends or only me.
Oh yeah. And
so,
okay.
That happens sometimes, and I don't know what the deal is with it.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay, let me go on. We're in Facebook now. Got a little late start, but it's gonna be a great day today. We have 2 shows today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we're gonna start being. We're revamping. We're gonna have to revamp.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to revamp because these 90 shows a month has been killing us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's all,
and
all evolution, isn't it? It just needs another...
I think it's we had a long talk with Vera and Augusti the other night. And they talked a lot about value in yourself,
Yeah.
And then we just talked about it for about a day, Morgan and I, and that involves the aspects of people pleasing and not saying no and trying to serve everybody. And I mean, we got so many inquiries. It's unmanageable.
Wow.
And then in terms of frequency, alignment of frequency, who is and who isn't, and what is and what isn't, and it's all moving so fast. So I don't know. It's just been it's been a lot to digest. We got 23 people in the house. Barbie Steiner. See, these are the main thing that's been happening is people are getting knocked off of these shows, and then what happens is they lose patience, which I can understand, and then they just leave. And so we'll go from like 70, 80 people in the house to 15. So like you started your page.
Yeah.
I think it's not a matter of is something working against you. I think it's more a matter of the universe is aligning things for you, for me, for us, for whoever.
And that's what I felt. It felt like redirecting me to really, to focus on, because I actually, before that happened, I was feeling overwhelmed by the amount of people that wanted to befriend me. And I'm like, it's like, I don't know, 4,000 people, but 4,000 people are not reading my posts. And I thought, I just can't. And then that happened. And I thought, it's the universe, just saying, just wanting authentic, genuine connection.
Yeah.
And yes, I didn't go down the conspiracy theory or anything like that.
Well, and big props to that. you know, big props to that. I was with Augusti the other night, and or the other morning. We were going to do a music show.
Oh, I watched. Wonderful.
Yeah, we were going to do a music show, and you know, Vera had been on the morning before. I didn't want to go on. She didn't want to go on. We didn't tell each other we didn't want to go on. And we both went on and just had this really raw conversation like we always do. And then the next morning, Augusta and I were going to do a music show, which we talked about a couple, 2-3 months ago. And I wasn't set up properly. And so he walked outside and just sat down next to this river, and we just started talking. And it was a good conversation. And and during the conversation, we said, you know what? Like, phase 1 was 9/11 and the Queen's a reptile, and, you know, all these different things that woke us up to the reality that truth is stranger than fiction, right? And fiction, what we thought was fiction, is truth. Not to say that the Queen is a lizard, you know, not to say that 9/11 wasn't an inside job, not to say anything, but to wake up to the fact, you know what I mean? But to wake up to the fact, that was like phase 1 of the awakening for everybody. For most people, phase 1 was, hey, wait a minute, we've been lied to. Our educational system, the media, the 13 families, and, you know, all that stuff, right? Okay. So you put it behind you. You put it behind you. And then the second phase was, I connect to Archangel Michael. I channel Yeshua. I am a Garthian, or an Andromedan, or I have a past life and I was Caesar, you know, Alexander the Great, or I have a future life and I came from 5 million years in the future. Well, all of that stuff was very and is very important. It's very, very important. But it's not who we are. It's just a part of who we are. So I would regress. I want to get your thoughts on this. That's what this, you know, this is how we do this spontaneously, right? I would say phase 1 was trauma. Individually, it was trauma. It was like, oh my God, you know, self-sabotage, being traumatized, victimhood, and all that. That was phase 1, where we personally woke up and say, I'm not standing for this anymore, right? I'm not going to devalue myself and all that stuff. Phase 2 was the conspiracy wake up. Phase 3 was the channeling, downloads, transmissions that were so powerful that they challenged, they don't just elevate the soul, they elevate the ego. Because, wow, I'm really connected. I'm really something, you know? And now we can put it all behind us. It's all part of us. It's all valuable to us. And we can start to do what? We can start to play, right? And if we want to play with fairies, dragons, whatever we want to play with, we can play with whatever we want. Whatever we want to create, we can create. So let's start with that. What do you think? What do you think? What are your thoughts on that? And by all means, speak your mind. You don't have to agree with me.
The pause is, it reminds me of Amanda in Glastonbury saying a tree, and we're going up the ascension tree, and there's all these different branches, and there's Kabbalah is one branch, Sufism, shamanism, you know, all these branches. And for her, it was very much going, she felt they were, I think she said it was distraction, but for some people it's their path. And for me, I feel like the branches maybe do kind of go and weave up the main pillar, the middle pillar, the main trunk. But some people will just stay on that branch. But I don't want to get into the whole, like you say, we can stay and play, but we can become attached to anything. And very much on my journey, when I awoke to being a Lemurian, I very quickly realized, and I noticed it in people around me, so this is quite a few years back, people were getting attached to, I was this and I lived in this place and I don't want to be here. And I felt, well, you chose to be here, and Mother Earth, nature is beautiful, and but we can get attached to the emotion, the grief, and the want to escape there. And then I very quickly realized that I was able to let that go and bring that all in the present now moment. Everything is here because we're multidimensional. So yeah, so that's where I am. And I've had this huge 5-6 week process of awakening initiation, and I'm sort of hearing what you just said, and I've had a walk-in, which I feel is another thing that I or other people could get attached to. I believe it's just part of my evolutionary phase.
I know what you're saying.
But it took 5-6 weeks of all, and it was like nearly every effing day, and I thank you for it. But it was like, oh my God, I thought I was dying nearly every day. So just for the last 4 days, I've been assimilating, because I just feel I could offend people now.
But I think that's part of it. You got to be direct and tell the truth. And if you offend someone, it's not your intention's not to offend anyone. That's like stepping on somebody's toe, and you're afraid to walk because you don't want to step on somebody's toe on accident. You're not going to do it on purpose, So go ahead and speak your mind.
I was hesitant. I was given this new name, and it's like, I don't want another name. I don't want another label, another thing, but they said to me, my guys, this is not for you. Then I thought, okay, I will take this resonance then, because it's not for me to kind of big myself up and now I've got like a big sounding name or whatever. It's like you asked, not just for this resonance to come in, and then you to support others with, because I looked up Zahara, and it means flowering in light, and it has a relationship with the flower of life. And when I heard this was about supporting all of us to flower in light, I thought, okay, I'll take this then, because it's not about me. But I had quite a process with it. And then with this walk-in, I'm like, it doesn't make me any more special than anyone else. What it has given me it's an aspect of me, but an oversoul part has come in. So I am able to see from that perspective that's a bit a wider perspective, so can dissolve all those different layers and separations. And I just feel like I'm more at home, things have settled, and then I just feel, oh my, amazing, beautiful things about being this, but in this space. But I'm very mindful of, it's just another phase. It's and there's going to be more diverse walk-in things that people are going to experience, and we're just going to keep moving on and moving on and moving through and expanding. So yeah, that's
I love that. That's it seems like, we always think the multidimensionality, the nirvana and the heaven and this and that is all out there somewhere in outer space. The multidimensionality, you just said it beautiful. It's an interverse. It's an interverse. And so we have a lot of people have been talking about having walk-ins. I had by far my biggest shift maybe a week ago. And it took several days, and it was huge. Do I expect it to flatline from that point, and just stay? No, I don't. So even within our own universe, we can't get stuck on a label. We can't allow. Well, we can try, we can do whatever we want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But the whole point is the universe is not stagnant. The universe is not going to flatline like an EKG when somebody's heart goes off, you know. And I think the other thing is too, now this is interesting. I'd like to get your opinion on this, right? As we come up with these things in the spontaneous, intuitive, creative, imaginative, and courageous, right? Because it is. I didn't plan any of this, but think about this, because you actually stimulated this. So on one hand, we have all these connections. We can call them our guides, our team. That's our innerverse. That's our innerverse.
Yeah.
That's our innerverse. But and then on the other given that I would put is that why are we 99.99% of the time conscious? You as Elizabeth, me as Todd. You know what I mean? We have all these connections, but this is the base. Like this is like the HQ. This is like most of the time. This is where we're at. This is where everything meets the human, right? So we have, you're there and I'm here. Everyone watching is there and we're here. We're all separate fractals, or however you want to put that in the quantum mechanics and all that stuff, right? Big boom and all that. But the same also goes for the nature being I met outside 2 weeks ago, or some other things that I might see that actually have some apparition to them, or at least some clairsentient. You know, they come through some way, audible or visually, or whatever the case is. So that's an interesting mix too. You know, that's an interesting mix too. But even these occurrences we have that can really make us go, wow, holy crap, what happened to me? You know what I mean? I just saw 12 dragons come in like 12 seconds, and they like gave me so much information it would take like 12 months for someone to speak it, right? We've all had this stuff happen. We have to take all that stuff in my opinion, like you were saying, and let it absorb and move forward and keep moving forward. Somebody asked yesterday on one of the shows, or a couple days ago, what is embodiment? So Elizabeth, you've been connecting for years and years and years. You've got powerful, incredible connections. You've got an incredible higher senses. What is embodiment? What's the point? What's the point of receiving all that information? What is it? What is that? How does that apply to the human, the conscious human, or the conscious divine human, however you want to put it?
Two things popped in. One was the source, God, goddess, whatever, is a child. We are God, goddess, child. I was just feeling that. So we're discovering ourselves. The child aspect's discovering ourselves. The parent, the God source part is discovering. So there's parts. We're so multidimensional. There's different parts. And then while you were talking, I was checking in me, and then feeling where you were resonating. Where is that resonating from? What parts? So for instance, I had somebody who came today, and it was very much a client, but I don't want to, but this is all very public. So, but trying to think of a way to describe this. It's not so disclosive, but we only understand from where we are that child part. I think there's not just one answer. When you say ego is the hero, there's that in there. And then when I was tuning in, I was saying, am I in the heart resonance?
Yeah.
But I've been moving through that because for me, as well as uniting with my dragon source avatar and walking and whatever, for me this year has been about manifestation. So that's really taking responsibility of our exploration, and the healing of the wounding between the masculine and the feminine. And during Voices of the Light Tribe that I was with Denise and lots of beautiful people.
It was with Miguel and Rita Matisse.
Yeah. This was so the core piece of work over the 4 days. For me it was, and I felt it was for other people. And there's been a splitting, a labeling of what is man and what is male, what is woman and what is female, what is masculine and what is feminine, and it's all effed up. It's all wrong for a lot of it. And I want to embrace the higher mind, and I think there is that within Buddhism. But so I'm more for, the divine, bringing in the divine feminine and rebalancing. But for me, the healing is really balancing. I want to, and I've been with this for years and years and years, wanting the divine, everybody, divine men, divine masculine, and for me to be able to show that aspect of me. And I've often felt that I've had that very much so, and some women have not been able to relate to me because of that, and some men not, because I don't play the game. I don't play the the masks or whatever's.
Right.
So I've danced around with sexuality and been in that whole queer culture, though, because I was questioning all these labels and the rigidity of everything. But then I'm sort of digressing now, but within the queer culture, it was so rigid in the 80s and 90s. Oh my God. But anyway, that's something else. So yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So embodying is everything. So when I was having the real shadow stuff over the weeks, I was feeling so shitty. It was like the fear was coming up. And then the shame about the fear, and all the friggin' big elephant in which it comes in every spiritual group about, oh, but I'm really awakened. I haven't got stuff. And what we present on Facebook or the website or the YouTube, but I couldn't run. I mean, I couldn't run away from what I felt for, it was weeks, weeks and weeks and weeks of it, and it was all this suppressed emotion and trauma and blah, 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 which I thought I'd worked through, came up again.
Yeah.
But what was amazing was it was a weight of it. And I thought, oh my God, I've been carrying that inside. And then it would, at times it would just it would leave. But I've got next door but one is an ex-offenders hostel. There's some ex-offenders hostel.
Okay, sex offenders?
No, just prison, not
okay. Like a halfway house. Like a halfway.
Yeah. I mean, there's been some right characters there, and I'm always thankful because I'm no different. I've got all this stuff coming up.
Yeah.
It's all this stuff coming up. I'm no different from who I think I'm better than them. I'm not. And it really, it kind of, this like the phrase floored me in a good way. It's like, stop thinking you're better than other people because you're one of these people who know about awakening. Yeah. There's people that are not maybe consciously awake to the awakening who live beautifully, absolutely like angels on earth. So I'm thinking, then what does that mean then? And yeah, and there was something else after all that, but I was kind of getting all passionate about that.
No, you're good because well, there's a couple things jump out. One, first of all, the first thing that jumps out, absolutely jumps out to me, is this whole thing about I don't have any problems. I'm good. I'm I'm just a ball of light, and I'm buzzing around, and I don't get affected by energies, and I don't get triggered, and you know, and in essence, I've got all the answers. You know what I mean? That whole frequency is inauthentic. And I'm not throwing rocks at anybody. I'm sure I've carried that frequency before.
No, I do.
You know what I mean? I love the fact that these people like you that come on here who've been connecting for years in a multidimensional way, many who have been, or let's just say a significant number of them who have been put in a psych ward and called crazy and labeled and even been put on medication and had to break away and liberate and emancipate and claim their sovereignty in so many ways, so many times in their life, still at this point in the game, who've had visitations, who've had these incredible channelings, who've had shared experiences, can still come back here and say, I'm still getting hit. I'm still getting hit with things. I'm still having to clear things. That's where the gold is. Not let me show you how to do. Let me show you how to do this for $49.99 a month. Join my community. And I'm sorry, I'm not taking shots at anybody, but we're moving into the fourth stage now. The first stage was trauma, liberation on a personal level. The second stage was the conspiracy, the alt media that brought to our attention that the world was lying to us. The third phase was that we all sat down and started talking to each other and said, you know what? I talked to Mother Mary too. You know what? I've seen E.T. Star Family in my bedroom too. You know what? I thought I was crazy. You know what? We're all alike. Now we're in this next stage. And the next stage is we're here to play.
Definitely.
We're here to play. We're here to play. We're here to sit down and talk and say, I want to play. That's what I loved about talking to Vera the other day. She said, I'm here to play. I came home after going on this fantasy fairy tale, going to Brazil. I was there with Augustine, and all of a sudden, 2 days later, we're in Brazil. And then 3 weeks later, I'm in Mount Shasta. And then I come home, and I got 20 euros in my bank account. And then this happens, and that happens, and I cried for 4 hours this morning, Todd. 4 hours. But you know what? I'm okay with it. But I still want to play. I don't want to beat around the bush. I don't want to tiptoe around the tulips. I don't want to walk on eggshells. I want to tell you how I feel, who I am, what I know, and really most of all, what I don't know. You know, and just play and co-create and collaborate. This is what's coming. This is the new template. This is the template that we're creating, the blueprint that we're creating for those that come after us, so to speak. It's not been made.
Yeah, exactly. It's all new, and I'm so with you with all this. Because then that's what's been coming through. Because in order to be, to go into the depths, then I know I'm still a human being and got stuff, and I'm not all la la la. And I've had more communion. I'm more to be able to be more, not despite of all the stuff I've been through or still carrying, but because of, and an amazing sort of miracle. And I realized, God, I was really, it was working. Is for years I've had stuff with my knees, and that's because of the trauma I had as a child, and I pushed it all down. I used to have panic attacks every night because of what happened to me as a child, and it would all go into my knees. So 5 weeks of all this intensity, I'm suddenly, the last few days, I'm like, it's not there. The pain isn't there. It's gone. So it was all coming out, and I've just realized today, I'm like, is it true? Shit.
Yeah.
And that's being able to let that go.
Yeah.
To let that go, that I'm not having to be attached to the physical attachment of it being in whatever it was where it was.
And I wonder if the carbon-based body transitioning to a light body is really just removing all that stuff, right? Those block, you know what I mean? those blockages that have taken on a physicality. I've had, and I can use the past tense now, I've had a lot of that stuff in my body, you know, different places in my body. And as this thing's progressed, but the main place I had it was in the root and the sacral, which for a man means his genitals, his plumbing. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about, you know, anything in particular. I'm talking about pain and discomfort and dysfunction and the psyche scars, the scars of the psyche that had implanted themselves in my power base. And to your point, I have watched especially over the last year, the actual physical change you can see with the eyes, the internal change that you can feel, the pain, the discomfort, but also the scarred psyche, endless chatter, loops that play in your head, which essentially all say the same thing. I'm not good enough. I've watched them just go away, and I feel healthier and healthier. That's to me what you're describing. That's ascension. That's ascension. It's not, you know, disappearing and teleporting to Venus. It's actually cleaning up the vessel, but not like in the purity pious way. Just out of self-love, self-respect, self-wisdom, self-transformation, you know, self-honoring and self-reverence. That's freaking ascension. That's it. That's it. Because if you do that, everything stems from there, right?
And what's amazing is when I work with people that still, and I am still moving from what I call the older paradigm. So the more that we take responsibility, like you're describing, Todd, then the more we actually become in unity. But it's really a different way of being with it. And often I will be with people, and I like I said today, I said, stop talking. Just stop talking. Just stop talking. We would have this profound experience together, and I think her system couldn't quite be with that. And so it's like, breathe, just take a breath. And I was thinking, that's what I need to hear. Always, whoever comes my way is the reflection of where I am and what I need to hear as well.
That's right.
And it's not teacher student. It's
that's right.
You know, and I thought, okay, take a breath. Just take a breath. Breathe. and I'm wanting to swear an awful lot. I used to swear a lot, and then I had to kind of tone it down because I was in schools.
I did too, and then I kind of got
now I've come back again. It's just like, because
well, you know,
the enormity of everything, I don't have enough words to describe, and the amount of what's coming through, which is joyous. So I want to be able to express it in a different way.
And if you drop an F-bomb, you drop an F-bomb. You know, I mean, you know, and you're right. I was in a meeting, I don't know, 10 days ago, and there was a lot of, you know, just this stuff going on, right? I can't deal with it. I want to put my fingers in my ears. I don't want to hear it, and I don't want to engage myself in it. And I can't say I'm right about it. All I can say is what I feel. What I feel is, this is like, I don't want to, it makes me nervous. It makes me shake. It makes me have anxiety. Is that Todd running from his shadow? I don't know, but I know one thing: until I'm aligned and balanced and I feel good, I can't even think straight. But to your point, we got toward the end of this meeting, and I was looking at the people and the couple of people that were there, and I just started to look in their eyes, and I just didn't say anything, and I just went quiet. And then within a couple of minutes, everybody went quiet. And we just sat there. We just sat there in quiet, looking at each other for 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And the entire hour or whatever of all the chatter, all the distortion, all the shadow, all the pain, all of that stuff that we've been doing for all these eons, you know, it was worth it. For those 3, 4, 5 minutes of silence, of purity, of merging, the eyes are the mirror of the soul, exchanging code was made it all worth it, you know. And so I really get what you're saying.
And it kind of going back, tracking of it, I've been having all this joy and more coming in more and more and more. And I feel that is lightheartedness, not taking myself seriously. Yeah. And we're here to have fun. And more and more people are saying, enough, let's have some fun.
That's
right. You know, okay, I know it's hard out there, but what? Just all get depressed and, you know, go and shoot ourselves about it? No. We're here. When we're enabled and lighthearted, we're empowered and we're embodied, and we can show, well, then we get creative, then things happen, then we're in that different vibration. I'm not saying let's all be fake and be, I'm always light. It has a depth to it. That's what's been coming through to me. This joy code, whatever, it has an oomph to it.
Yes, it does.
It's like it's almost serious. It's really, it has a substance to it. And I feel like I've spent enough time, and you know, going through it all, and I dare say I'll have another period of whatnot, shadow busting and everything. But I feel there's that balance now with, and that is being able to enjoy others and really, I mean, I've had that experience with working shamanically and in groups over the years. And when I discovered those groups and were with those groups of people, it was such a relief to sit down with have to talk the group, the better, because you just got to let go of that chatter. Yeah. And I just would love that, because it's like, okay, I'm listening. Next person, I'm listening. Next person, I'm listening. Yeah. And you be in the moment. You're not rehearsing what you're going to say. You're not having an opinion of what everybody is saying. You just, I'm with that person now. Now I'm with that person. And then you get that unity happening. And many years ago, it's not new, it's ancient, this. Yeah. So yeah, when you say about taking a breath and looking at each other, you know it, feel it. It has a substance. Yeah. I've been in drumming groups of that, and I'm thinking, I want to be in this space all the time. Why can't we be in this space all the time? Because it's running on automatic, and I think we don't need to so it's sort of, it's being with ourselves, with what's appropriate to where we are in the process. Because sometimes, we go into the shadow and I've had to kind of look at stuff. Other times it's just really, it's been about really feel the root of the fear. It's come up and it needs to be expressed and have a compassionate space to be, and not be overwhelmed in it, not be attached to it, and then it goes. And then,
well, I get it. And the thing about the joy, right? Like we're figuring it out over here. We're like, okay, wait a minute. We don't have to do 3, 4, 5 shows a day. If it brings us total joy the whole time, and there's no stress, and there's no pressure of, oh, we've got to do this and we got to do that, and we need to do this and we need to do that, and we don't have any money or this or that, and it's all all this stuff goes into this loop. It's a loop. You know, we're breaking out of this loop. We're breaking out of this loop. You know, yesterday I said, I can't do these shows today. I can't do them. I woke up and said, I can't do these shows today. I'm going to write these people and I'm going to say, I got to do Todd today. And so I did. And the first one said, thank God you made that call, because I'm getting hit with all this energy. Is it personal or is it collective? Does it happen to anybody else? And the second one and the third one, they said, fine, no problem. So we got a cooler, went and bought a little beach umbrella for $15, went down to the beach and laid by the river where the river runs into the ocean and just laid there.
Wow.
And I swam in the river and came home and watched, I never do this, watched this series called Outlander about this time traveler.
Yeah.
And it was like 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, can we watch one more episode? But the thing is, it's not just allowing for a reset and to take a breath. Actually, when we're actually raising our vibration when we do that. You know, we're actually attracting that same unencumbered, uninterrupted, purer frequency to us. And the only thing that's weird about it is that it doesn't fit into the 3D paradigm of, okay, well, I'm going to go to the beach for 8 hours and watch movies for 4 hours and be with my beloved partner the whole time and have this incredible and get paid. And you're like you go to work, punch in, punch out, you get paid. But you actually do get paid. You actually do get paid for holding that frequency and elevating your frequency. You actually do get paid, but it's not the old way.
Exactly. It's not in the immediate timeline that a human being might want it, or a human being might, I've got bills to pay, so I need certain amount of, I don't know, clients to come in this week or this. But then it's like I'm getting so much magic happening with abundance coming in more vast ways than my human being has imagined or wanted it set in a certain agenda way, that I'm like, I was walking today, I'm thinking, I think I'm getting it now. Because like, how many times do I have to have this shown to me for me to get it? Or maybe I just keep on being shown. But I really feeling today, I'm getting it now. Because it is like, it becomes like, it's just like this now. And so being in the moment and trusting that whatever's struggling, it's all perfect. And then maybe something will come a year later or 3 years later, or not at all. We meet different people, things happen that we couldn't even imagine. And that's what I've really been experiencing. And it's like, wow. But it's really put wholeheartedly in the mind, body, everything, all parts saying, yes, I'm taking the leap. Yes. Fuck it.
That's right.
Fuck it. I don't know. Right. Fuck it. And then it all starts coming in. I haven't got it all sorted. Fuck it.
Look who's here. Look who's here.
Well, hello.
What's up, Denise? What's happening? Is that a dragon on your wall hanging from
the door?
Oh my God. Let's talk about if you want to. Let's talk about the dragons. You guys know, you guys are connected to the dragons, aren't you?
It's actually a mask.
Oh my God, that's absolutely the coolest thing I've ever seen. I want one. Where did you get it?
I got it in a seaside town called Whitby, and it was the last one. And he gave it me for cheap because it was the last one.
I want to get one of those.
Wow, I used to make masks.
Did you?
I used to do mask theatre, yeah.
So what's the deal? I'm just curious. Denise, it's great to see you too. You look beautiful. Both y'all look beautiful. I had so much fun the last time we got together. So what's the deal with, and I understand we don't have to talk about the metaphoric aspect of our dragon's real or our dragon's. Everybody has their own truth. I know they're real. You know what I mean? I mean, I've been seeing them since the end of last year. What a powerful, nurturing, benevolent. I mean, wisdom, love. Wow. The love from the dragon energy is incredible. What do you guys know about dragons? What the hell's going on? You know, what's happening? I had a dragon fall on my chest the other day, and it was attached to my wife's arm. So I'm totally open to everything. If you don't believe me, I'll show you. But what do you know about it? What do you know about it? Denise, you want to go first?
Sure. And it's interesting, I was thinking about this yesterday, that Elizabeth called me the dragon lady last time I was here. Because I don't know if I connect with dragons any more than I connect with elementals or angels or whatever, but there is a bit of a theme of it at the moment, and they are really, really coming through strongly. But since I've been back in England, I've been from Australia, I've been doing a lot of work with the dragons and awakening dragons, setting dragons free. I even birthed some eggs, as I believe Elizabeth mentioned last time I was here.
You birthed some eggs. So you had baby dragons. You birthed dragons.
It was really interesting. There's a spot I go to in nature that's a really strong dragon spot. There's a tree that just looks like a dragon. And there's a stone there. It's kind of a bit like a standing stone, but it's not very big. It used to be a quarry a long time ago. And the energy is really, really strong. And sometimes I sit on this stone, it just supports my back. It feels really comfortable. And this one day, it was really weird. I had this dragon kind of like come down into my crown and go all the way down. And then I got the message that I had to bear down. And I kind of like, had to bear down on the stone and birth these eggs. Now, that particular spot is connected to a spot in New Zealand. I have a very close friend who created this beautiful crystal mandala, this huge thing in her garden. And we did some work to align the energies from that spot to New Zealand. So I didn't really get any more information on what was happening with those dragons that I was birthing, but I have a feeling that there was something about them going through the core, because really England and New Zealand on the globe, it kind of goes straight through the core, and it's on the other side. And I did some work on I've just come back from Scotland. I've just come back from the Isle of Lewis, and did some work. There's a road there called the Royal Mile, and it's very, very old. It's in the old part of the city, and there's still some funky energy there. And people used to live there. They used to live under the road. It was really heavily populated, and it just feels quite distorted, the energy there. And it's a long road. It's a mile. The clues in the name. And as I'm going down, I'm kind of clearing the distortion and bringing in the new templates, and quite subtly speaking light language as I'm walking down the street. And then when I came back up, because Arthur's Seat is at the end of that, which is like a huge hill. And coming back up, my vision went blurred, and I got double vision again, which I've had today. So I feel that some strong codes to come through. But when I tuned in, there was like this huge dragon that was the length of the street, and 4 others as well. And I kind of had the vision of them with like a chained, like with something around the neck. And I don't know if that's just an energetic thing, and it's something to see, to undo, to kind of like awaken them, because my feeling is that they've been lying dormant. It's not like they've been lying there chained and suffering necessarily with that, but they've been lying dormant, waiting for our frequency to be at the level that they can be then awakened. And my dragon work actually started in Australia, because I wrote a book that's still kind of on one side. It still needs quite a bit of work to it. But the dragons appeared in that. And I found myself, when I was doing work on the land, calling in one of the characters from the book. And that's when I realized that she wasn't actually a character, that she was actually real. Yeah. So I've been calling on her for a while. But so my feeling is to do, especially when people do earthwork and they do grid work, they will most likely be the people that will connect with dragons, because they put the original, as far as I'm aware, they put the original blueprint in. And that's what we're bringing up now. We're bringing in the galactic codes, but we're also bringing up Gaia's original codes, which the dragons are linked to. And then it kind of like merges together and clicks in together.
Yeah, that resonates. I'm not as in depth, like, but I can tell you one thing that I've gotten was that they're kind of like what you're talking about. They were here, but they weren't like, they were dormant, like you said. They were hibernating or something or whatever.
Yeah.
And they like they were here when it started, and they're here for the end, kind of thing. Like they were the original designers or something like that, and then they're here to take us to the next, to be with us as we transcend to the next level. What about you, Elizabeth? I know you just wrote some stuff on dragons, didn't you?
Yes, I think I put that on Soulology, that there was that there's amazing ancient skeleton that looked like a huge tail and backbone, and I immediately tuned in and thought that's a dragon, and then it was, oh my gosh, it's a whale. But when I tune into dragon source energy, I always they're in partnership with whales for me. And they're like the creators and mappers of all. They were there at the beginning, and it was interesting with that I've been aware of my own sort of, I don't know, connection with a dragon avatar aspect, and it took being with a group, being in community, in Glastonbury with all the dragon energy there, and the Mary Magdalene energy and Mary energy, and I mean Glastonbury. I don't know, say more. I was not listing it all. But Lisa Raven had this like massive gong. I mean, it was huge. I mean, I've got a big gong, and it's the resonance is amazing. But her partner's is Merlin, and he's a massive guy, and he like bringing this huge thing. And it took that resonance and to be with other people for that essence, because it's vast, to come through. And it was such a relief, because it's not just me or so I feel as we connect more in groups, and Soulology is all part of that, because yesterday Marita was talking about how we're all connecting to one another and working with one another, and the dragons and whale energies are all about that. And so I mean, I've been working on in Hampstead Heath, which is a bit of green wild space in London, and been working with dragon kundalini and energy in the land here. And it's sort of funny, because I used to be in the middle of City of London. In the central part of London, but you've got Westminster, and then you've got the City of London. And the City of London is marked by all these dragons. Literally, they're pillars with dragons.
Now go figure that, okay? Like, I mean, I just find that on a trivial basis, as a interesting point. Obviously, whoever, whatever, 1%, whatever, they've had this secreted esoteric knowledge or whatever. There's no, I mean, that's like, to me, the biggest sign of it all is the geometry of the buildings and the dragons. I remember as a little kid, my biggest fear was these freaking, it was two things. It was these buildings and most of them were the churches where I grew up. There were the buildings, and then they had, because where I grew up, they didn't have basements and cellars, right? Like they do in other parts of America and in the world. But they had these underground, like you could walk on the sidewalk and you could see the window, which was below the ground, into this like basement thing. Like that freaked me out, man. I would freak me out. And then the other thing that would freak me out were these gargoyles.
Oh yeah.
And I knew as a little kid, I knew they were real, and I knew I'd been, so all, it's so funny how these things pop up. I hadn't thought about that in years. Now, do you guys, one thing I love about last time, and really I love about what we're all heading into, is this light language. I went into a cave with Morgan. We had another me day 3 or 4 days ago, and we drove the entire island, which I realize now we were doing some type of grid work. But there was this big cave. I talked about it on another show, and we went into this big cave, and something happened to me. I mean, I started, just under my breath, I started singing this. I don't know if it was Hawaiian or if it was galactic or a little bit of both or whatever. I have no idea. But I realized how important it is for these spontaneous light language expressions that people are doing. It's like, it's like what we're talking about.
Distracted. My dog's having a crazy moment. She never does that. She's picking up on the energy. She never does it. She is literally grabbing her tail and she's going like this. She never does it. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, a minute ago when Denise was talking about the dragons, I just had a little impression in my head, the dragon, that there would be some type of light language and dragon oriented. I don't know. So if you guys are up for it, that's cool. And if you're not, that's cool too. We just keep talking.
I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to. How about you, Denise? Yeah.
Perfect. Can I mention as well, Todd, that
absolutely.
Just further to what Marita said the other day, and I was very touched watching this as well, about the number of people that she's connected with through Soulology. So Elizabeth and I met with Yukiya, and I've done a lot of work with Yukiya online, as I've done a lot of work with Elizabeth online, but we haven't actually met in the flesh. So, and we shared germs. We shared the flu as well after that, and we shared a massive cleanse after that. And I've just been up to Scotland, to the Isle of Lewis as well. Wasn't actually part of the activation on the Calenage stones, but I went the next morning at 6, and I met with Grace Solaris, Stella Fairbairn, Pamela Johnson.
Wow, Pamela Johnson's there too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've probably missed people out that are part of Soulology. Rebecca Claire Williams comments quite a lot on things as well. Her Facebook thing is like a white cross. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you. So just so you know, I think it's important because all these connections are being made, and a lot of them are coming through from Soulology. So I wanted to honor you for that and make you aware of that.
Well, thank you. It's on behalf of Morgan and I and Soulology. I mean, but I got so frustrated with, these, as we all do, get these downloads, and I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that. And I had this, and I still do, I'm not gonna lie, but it doesn't have a hold on me. I'm not attached anymore. But this whole thing, the multiple channel network, available on a handheld app, this place everybody can go that's safe, and they can do what we've done, right? And then I got the thing the other day, and it was like, it's already done. And it was really kind of from the Marita thing, because then I started to realize all of this is done. It doesn't, just because it doesn't look the way that you translated it, it's actually done. So we're very honored and happy to be a part of it. And we're just a part. We're all astrology. It's just a name for what we all have in common, you know. So, yeah, thanks. Very welcome, and thank you. Thank everybody, you know. Yeah, absolutely. Is Abuelita Chadwick related to you?
Not as far as I know.
I just want to know, because that's Abuelita means little grandmother in Spanish.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Rebecca Claire Williams. And so many of these names, like Rebecca Claire Williams, you know, I could go down the list. You see them. They're quiet. They're in the background. They're always supported with the comments and you know, contributions. And it's amazing how many $11.11, how far those go. And every day you wake up, you know, we can all relate to this. Like, you know what I mean? You wake up and you're like, how the hell is this going to happen? And then something happens and you just make it, right? But I feel like that's all expanding for everybody. Like it's lifted, you know, something's lifted.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
There's a huge exchange of codes as well when you meet in the flesh. I mean, there is just meeting online, but I think a lot of the cleansing that I'm doing at the moment, the integration, it's not just the work that we did. It's actually, you know, the heart-to-heart connections that you make and the exchange of energy.
Yeah. Is Jim going to start with the light language? Look at who's starting.
Okay. Ia moe hi sia, ia moe hi sia moe sia no. Mother Earth recognizes oi sia, all that we're doing moe o etia moea mot ea good oea moe sia no chambers dragon. So the inner earth resonances are really opening up. I got this a few days ago. And it was yesterday I had a, I'm sorry, I'm doing, this needs to come through in the middle of the sounding, that we've been holding on to the story of the what went wrong in Atlantis. Time to let that go. Time to let that go. Bring in Atlantis back. The resonance, the divine masculine. So this is all being supported by the dragon codes and the dragon birthing and the inner earth. So that there is a source vibration for soulology. Many pillars we're anchoring this from source to the and there will be physical gatherings, more gatherings that is happening, more, and simultaneously tuning in, there's a dragon outside. I know, darling. I want to get all the more easy. More. She always, when I do work, she never. Yes, I know. More. Okay. More easy. This ecstatic, wow. So there's a lot of hive of activity. There's a lot of collective and collaboration between the different realms and beings in more ways that we are imagining, because we as human beings we awaken to particular aspects, but we don't we'll be realizing that there's all merging between the different beings themselves. What do we see now? And we have so far imagined, but it's here, and we're seeing money. They're evolving as well. We're seeing not just as human beings. Joyous. Oh my goodness, it's very. That's the experience I had in Glastonbury. Was not just, we don't just have one dragon Kundalini, we have two. So we're evolving. Courage. So trusting that what's happening with Mother Earth Gaia, with all the weather, volcanoes, earthquakes, that is all part of a higher experience. Yes, everything all right? Are we all right there? Lay down or Mother Earth,
Hirt ona kiert ona makist ort ana kiert ort ana kiert osh. Ele ona makarat osh. Ele kiana ort ana kiert ort ana kiert osh.
The 12 DNA. Yeah, more air, more air, more air, more air. Do here, do here, do here. Oh, yes, yeah. Do here. Good to here. Good to here. Yeah.
Jant ord anamakiato danstu ord ianamakiato to usta. Elikiant ord lanakiato ord
yes,
makiato. Elikiant makiat
stand
ord.
firm. Yes, yeah, count. Muy, yeah. You've done all the work. That's needed. To take pause. Stand firm. Stand firm. Be confident in where you are coming from. You need to stand firm. I keep saying, Todd, you need to go. Well, yeah, you've heard it. Okay. Idea. That's not being rigid. It's not being shielded. It's just know who you are. And there's much joy. Oh my gosh, celebration with that. With really being, yeah. Honor. And like how we are both sounding with many, Denise many, me many, you many, we're doing many. Thinking out of the box. Very important. Throwing out everything. So that part of you that goes, oh, very important, brings in creativity, new ideas, source. So bring, everything, but I see, oh my, there's some there, Kundalini, wow, you're running a lot of Kundalini. Keep running it up and down. Source down. And Morgan,
Jando ord ana. Elikiant ord anamakiato astera. Anamakiar ot. Jant ord anamakiat anakista.
Song.
Akanakast erat anamakiatot. Elishti anamakorat anamakiat anamaki. Elish anamakiat ort anamakia. Elish or amakia. Jantor anamakit ort akist et at ort anamakiast ort.
Celebration, support, the ancestors will come alive in ways that we haven't experienced before. When we say heaven on earth, in more ways than we have experienced, those people that have passed over, it's not one way, way. There is different. Can come back and forth, and because when we say multidimensional, really multidimensional. Yeah.
Jant ortana kist arat anakiatorna. Jant orleja tana kurat anakiatosta. Elihian to oyena makiat ona at orish. Learana makord anakiato pasta. Kele iat ornaki up ot orit anamakiato tostoi. Elikiot onamakia leatona kuma. Elister. Elikiorna makat ost arat ot orna makat totost. Hian lenikiat orlana makiatonaka a. Ulle ot ort anamakia ort anamakot osta. Elikiat oramatana kiato osta. Tuister anamakiat onamakista. Elikiant ort anamakiat ort at. Et gusto.Eket gutta anakit iornan makista. Olihiant ort anamakia totototonomakiat ornakittia. Elihiant ort anamakia tosta. Eli ornanamakitanakia totototoeta. Elikior anamakit totost. Eli ior anamakit ort atmestior. Elikiornot onamakiat ort anamakatata. Eliort ostajanoko omakiatana. Eliornanamakiatonaistei. Elikiatototoina makata annat osta. Kellekiana tototoina mikila toton. Hittunea tottuillat ormakesteer. Elikana kulla at orlana mikiat onamakatata ast. Kulle art onamakitista. Eliketut onamakiart anamakiart ast ort anamakiatotot.
Oh, roketia, no, roketia, wana, roketia,
Elikian torla anakiatot.
roketia, no, roketia. Oh,
Yeah.
burita,
Elist oranamak jant ora. Elihiant orat anakiatot ortoyasta. Elikin lopur.
Yeah.
Janort anaitior onamakiar napor. Dalle ot ort anist Leert anamakart.
We got dolphin.
Oit arta. Etu doiarnaki ort ost. Kutana kista tayan tor anamakialla tata ort anakia. Iela kionnoma kort anamakiasta. Elekiart anamakiata. I'm bringing in the lighter codes now, the joy codes. Jantor mikiat anakist or tatatato. Ort anamakiata toist. Anamakia. Add.
Oh, tiada marat.
Mekiato.
Isso,
I just want to, which way? Oh, this is really hard because of the mirror image. There we go. So this is the crystal I picked up in Glastonbury that is holding the codes of, I mean, so are Elizabeth and I, but this is holding the codes of all that we did in Glastonbury. Oh.
Yeah, you're right there. You're right. Still, stop.
You're good.
Good.
And it's got tiny little fluorite octahedrons in.
That's amazing. What y'all did was amazing. Y'all were amazing. Thank you. Thank
We're
you.
going to be doing a call soon.
Are you?
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
We don't know all the details yet, but something to do with the Grail codes.
Okay. Are you going to have that? Here, let me go to, and anywhere else I need to. So this is the new site that Elizabeth created. Celestial Sounds of Light.
It'll be on there. Yeah.
So will it be on here, and then? Well, you guys just put it out in the Soulspeaks group, or send me a message. Well, you're probably better off putting in the Soulspeaks group, or tag me.
Okay.
Or send me a message, or all three. I definitely put it out in the Soulspeaks group. Whatever you're going to do. Yeah. That's where I saw the posts I referred to, the dragon posts I referred to. So a lot of times I'll go in there and clean up things and different stuff. That's where I see a lot of stuff. But I'd be glad to help you. You know, if I can, if we can help you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You let us know. All right.
We'll do a Facebook Live next week about it as well.
Good. That sounds good. Perfect. That's what it's all about. I love you both.
Love you too.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jim. Where'd Jim go? Is that playing with the dragon?
Finally, yes.
Good seeing y'all. It's really good seeing you.
And you, thank you so much. And anything, I know there was a call out for admin. I mean, anything I can do that you know.
Yeah, I'm going to try to organize that. We're going to try to organize that pretty quick. I think thank you for bringing that up. But yeah. We'll work on that today, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'll see y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye.